Good morning, Year 5. As you know, Mrs Hickman has started her maternity leave, and some really exciting news is that in the early hours of Sunday morning, Mrs Hickman had two beautiful baby girls called Orla and Sinead. They are a little bit earlier than expected, however, they are both healthy and they are all happy, so I'm sure you will join in with me in congratulating Mrs Hickman and wishing her and her beautiful family a really happy future. So I will be leading the videos in the mornings, and we've planned lots of activities for you for this week. If you could email in any of your answers, any of your queries to the Year 5 email, and I will check them and get back to you as soon as I can. For today's learning, for your maths, there is, we've put the PowerPoint on for the whole of the week, but if you just do the activities for Monday, there are some tasks for you to do, some questions for you to answer, a variety of questions that you've probably covered before, but you need to keep your brain engaged and keep trying to move forward with those activities. So there are some Roman numeral questions, some questions on perimeter, some multiplication. So have a look at those and have a go at those. If you finish those and you're happy with that, then there are all the activities for you to do. This hit the button, times table rock stars, and I know there are lots of links to other websites if you prefer those, but really times tables rock stars is a definite go-to. For your English today, as it's World Book Day on Thursday, what we're doing as a whole school is we're looking at the same book, and the book is called Tuesday by David Wisner, and this is a book with no words in it. Okay, it's a picture book. You may have seen the book before, you may have come across it before. If you haven't, don't worry about it. We can, there are some different activities for you to do. So for today's activity, I want you to click on the link so you can watch the story, and also the PowerPoint slides go through the story as well. At the end of that, there is some activity to do on slide 33. So have a look at those questions. I'd like you to look at the pictures that it's asking you to look at. The picture of the frogs with the fish and the birds, and look at the scenery, look at the police officer scene. Have a look at them and look at what you can see. What do you notice? What do you think? How do you think the animals felt? What was happening? So on slide 35, there is an example of an answer. So have a look at that and then try and answer the other questions in the same sort of style. You know how to do it with as much detail as you can, and reflecting on the images that we've selected. Okay. This afternoon, you've got the picture news. So there's a PowerPoint there about picture news, and there is some information about packaging, and it's about looking at what packaging we use and why companies use certain packaging. Is it appealing? Why would you choose to buy a product because of the packaging? And also the impact it has on the environment. Some things like plastic bottles and things like that, and companies are trying to reduce the amount of packaging they use, so there's less waste. So there's some activities there. There's an activity for you to do about your favourite drink. Okay, so what does it look like? What does it smell like? What does it taste like? And then an activity to do about looking at food packaging and maybe creating your own food packaging, and looking at the purpose of the packaging, looking at the materials that are used, looking at how it can affect the environment, and looking at the information and the colours. So there's lots and lots of things for you to do there. And also this afternoon, Mrs Cangiano has done another fantastic music video. So the first one is a song about books, because of World Book Day, and then the The second slide is about listening to the music that goes with the book Tuesday. And it asks you on the PowerPoint, it'll tell you everything to do, but if you stop it after about 36 seconds, once you've listened to it all the way through once, stop it after 36 seconds and think about that music that you just listened to. Is it repetitive? What instruments you think are being used? What are the different notes that are being used? And then how it changes. And then at about 1 minute 9, if you have another look at it again, then there is the percussion instruments are being played. So have a listen and think what instruments you think you can recognise, what can you identify. The challenge task for music, if you want to do it, is to make your own creepy music. Now there is a link that shows you about how to use GarageBand to make that music, but you can use other programs such as Chrome, Music Lab, you can use a digital keyboard, or you can use real instruments like a keyboard or chime bars. Okay, so have a look at that if you want to do that task. That's up to you. But anything that you do today would be great if you could send it in to me at the Year 5 email, and I'd love to see your work. The other thing I forgot to mention at the beginning is that on Monday, have a look at Mr Carey's Gospel Assembly. Last week it was about making sure that we are preparing for Easter, and during Lent, Mr Carey's message last week was about to pray, to stop and to go. So to pray for something, maybe yourself, pray that you can make those right choices. To stop and think about what you're doing and reflect on how you are. Maybe to stop doing certain things, like perhaps if there's a comment that you might say that perhaps isn't that nice, maybe don't say it, just stop yourself from saying it, think about doing something else instead. And then go into the community or into your family or with your friends, and next week when we're able to get back open again, you'll be able to show how loving and caring you are in all that you do and say, which we see all the time at school, so it's fantastic. So that's the message from last week's assembly, so listen to this week's assembly and see what the message is there. So again, send your messages in to the Year 5 Year 5 email, and I will be checking those from there. Okay, lovely to speak to you, Year 5, and really looking forward to getting back next week when everyone's back in school. Okay, see you soon then. Bye.